Hello everybody, so today is Mixed Media Monday and we are going to be doing a technique that I haven't done in a long time. But I see these dies and it makes me think of them. And then maybe, just maybe, I might try something else if I have the time for it. With embossing powders, it just depends how much time I have. I do want to say real quick that I cannot see what you can see. Okay. The swaps have been mailed. They should arrive at their destinations by Wednesday. Thank you to my participants. I thought they were very beautiful swaps, and I am absolutely thrilled. So, the other thing I want to say real quick is I have said, in case you haven't heard, at 500 subscribers, I will do a tour of my craft room. And I will also do, I call it a swap, because the YouTube rules for giveaways are kind of, and I don't want to take any chances with my channel. So I call it a swap, and what it'll be is I will put together some packages, and you will have to mail me a craft item, any craft item. I don't care what it is. Make sure your address is included, and I will take the bundles that I'm giving away, draw a card out or a name out of the people, and whoever's name gets pulled will get those bundles. If you don't get a bundle, you'll get something, but in a first class envelope that's not costing me a fortune to send. So you will get something, a card, or everybody will get something. Um, but I will have bundles for, um, I don't know how many yet, but yeah, that will be a thing. And then let me think what else. I think that's about it. That's at 500. I'm at 489, and I have been at 489 for a while. So, I mean, it's coming, but it's not coming quick. So if you, I hope that's still good. Okay. I am going to cut this out. I'm going to do some die cutting here. And I have my embossing powders in here. These are all my embossing powders. I don't know how that's going to cut. Let's go ahead and just cut the whole thing out. Let me get my paper here. We're just going to color the flower in. We're going to color the flower in with embossing powder, is basically what we will be doing. And okay, so here we go. So this is gonna go down on paper. Whatever color paper you want it to go down on. With my box of embossing powders here, it kind of gives my space no room. Maybe I need to move it over here a little bit. Okay, let me see. Move it over here, and I might as well go ahead and open it right so I can get in there and get it. So the embossing powders that I'm going to use are not going to be, I need something to set them on. They're not fine detail embossing powders. I had bought a set, I don't know, a year ago or over a year ago of, I'm trying to see what I want to put this on. Okay. So I'm going to go ahead and glue this down on this gray, and I think that'll be pretty. So let's just glue it down. This would be a good paper piecing die also. Okay, and the frame. You can see I wasn't holding the frame on straight. I wasn't too worried about it at the time. I was just getting it cut, right? Sometimes we gotta be more careful than that. Okay. So I'm just gonna give me a little bit of space. All right. So that is that. Now what I'm gonna do, figure first which color embossing powder I want to start with. I'm gonna do this. This should look pretty on there, I think. Or do you think not? I hope it doesn't disappear in there. You can tell. Now this is finer than this. See how that moves? Look how this moves. This is powdery. More powdery than this one. I wonder if powderier. I don't think it's a word, but this is more powder than this one. I still don't have an embossing buddy. But still, I'm getting ready to emboss. Okay, we're not going to worry about it. I'm going to get my finger daubers out. And I'm going to get a new one that hasn't been used. It wouldn't matter because I'm using the color. So it's probably going to cover any color anyways. Might do better in a stencil, but so what I'm gonna do is get these petals, and I'll just do this one right here because I want to show you what I'm gonna do. Because I had to get it on here, I'm just gonna kind of wipe there. I don't know if that'll stop it or not. We need to have, okay, I'm gonna pour this on. Yeah, see, this is powdery. This was not the one, whoops, that I thought I was using. That's alright though. It really doesn't matter. It's just the other stuff doesn't cost as much, right? Okay, so you can see the color. So I'm just going to take my finger now and go over and rub it off the paper. There's still some on there. But just the outline paper, not that inside paper. Just that outline paper. That's why I'm using my fingers and not like a brush or something, because a brush is gonna wipe it off of everything. And I would have used, there we go. So this will be one leaf. Let me see what this color is gonna, not one leaf, one petal. So then I'm gonna come in with my embossing tool. I'm gonna move, I don't know why. I do not like my embossing powder to be near the heat tool. And I see them do it all the time on YouTube. And I just don't, I'm afraid I'm gonna melt my whole bottle of embossing powder. So I'm just gonna let it melt it. Okay. So, not real crazy about that color. Not liking that color at all. While it's still wet, I'll pour this on. See, this is the stuff that's not as powdery. But if you look, it's in a different bottle. That might be the set that I bought, that I was thinking the other was. Okay. Oh, it didn't hold it. Alright, I'm gonna do, what am I gonna do? I'm gonna do another petal in the yellow and see how it does. I keep saying that I gotta get one of them embossing buddies. I've never had one, ever. Never, ever, ever have I had one. But now that I'm looking, I didn't get good enough on the edges. You know, there's a few things here that, just this edge, the rest of them look good. So, and I'm not worried about this because I didn't put any color colored ink, so it's not going to get on my embossing thing here. This is textured paper, which may not be the best. I don't know if it matters, to be honest with you. Let's see if this shows up better than that purple. See, I was a little concerned about that purple being dark. I just want to make sure I've got it in here. Good. So I just use the paper underneath. I remember when I was doing scrapbooking and I first got embossing powder, and it wasn't, not a lot of people had it. Back then, I don't think any of my friends had it back then. And it was just the neatest thing. Okay, now I can put this back in the bottle. And if I like it, then I'll just use it on the rest of the flower. But see, I can come through now because I don't want it on that white. Just take my hand and gently. Maybe that's what happened here, was I rubbed it too much off. It ended up getting it off in there. Okay. Let me heat it and see. So when I took it off the white, I didn't do that part. I just took that off. Alright, so now if I want it thicker, I can have this open. See, this scares me. Heat it up again. Because it's very spotchy looking, so that means it needs another coat. Let me do it this way, or it's here by me. To me, that means it needs another coat. So I'm just gonna heat it back up and get it melty and sprinkle it and turn that off. I didn't want to take the time to turn that off while I was trying to get it sprinkled. I wanted to get it sprinkled quickly while it was still wet. See, now it's sticking. Okay. Ooh, it doesn't look like I got much there, but it's too late for that, I'm sure. Okay. I'm going to leave it open still. That way if I want to do another one, I can pour it on. Here we go. I hope I can let me see everything. Okay, I'm going to keep the heat on it and come over it again. Sprinkle it on while it's hot. That second coat did look better. And I don't know if you can see, which see now how, look at how good that clung. I'm actually kind of liking that I left those lines in. It's giving it some extra texture. Okay. So, let's try this one more time. And, hopefully, I don't need to come back because I don't think it'll help after this many times. Let's see. There we go. So, that's hot. That's the way to do it right there. So I'm gonna go ahead. I don't know if I want to keep doing one at a time. I think I do. I think I better stick to one at a time. And I am gonna go over the veins because not these outside ones. I want those still to stay clear. But these inside lines, just look at how that gave that texture there. So I'm gonna go ahead and do them. Let's try doing them. I don't know how long it'll stay wet. That's my problem. Okay, so I'm just gonna leave that embossing powder right there. I'm gonna, oh, no I'm not. I don't know what I'm doing, right? I'm gonna take that off there. These in-betweens I don't want embossed. I got it off of that. So it might be too late, it might have dried. Well, I'm coming back to it, so hopefully I gotta try to do it so I know you can see what I'm doing. So I need to probably do it over here. That way I can just... This is hot, right? This is all hot. You have to be very careful of that. I don't want to wait for it to be too late. When it dries, it cools really fast. When it cools, it's not going to latch on no more. That's why I'm like, you gotta hurry and get it, because if you miss it, you miss it. Then you would have to come through and reheat it. And it looks like I might have got too much on this. Darn. This is too much work, y'all. It's too much work. It's very hard to keep that clear. So a stencil. Now that time I could see it turn to liquid, and that would have been a good time to do it, but I am not gonna do this. This is too much. It's definitely needs to be a stencil. I was hoping it would work like this, but obviously it is not. So I'm gonna put this back. And I want to cut a shape and do, I need a whole shape though. I don't need, here we go. So what I'm thinking is, you know, we're always looking for embellishments. Well, I'm always looking for embellishments that are quick, done, pre-made, whatever. And I just want some, so I thought, well, what if I did some flowers and embossed them so they were enamel-y, right? And had those in a drawer or something somewhere. Then, you know, then we could do that. Then we could have them. So why couldn't I emboss them? They would be like little enamel flowers. And that needs to go back with that set. And we could just have them in a drawer or something somewhere. When we need a little flower to embellish, it would be right there. So let's check it out and see how it works. The thing is, now here's the thing. When we go to put the heat gun on them, it's going to blow. And it's going to blow it kind of away. So we're going to have something to hold it. Wherever we hold it may possibly not emboss right. So my thought is, first I emboss, I'm going to just emboss the whole thing, and I'll hold it in the middle. And then I can come and maybe put a different color over the middle and do that. So let's do this pink, and then we'll do purple like in the middle. So what I want to do, and I need to bring my white paper back. This is using this white paper for everything. Because I want to dump my embossing powder back in to the bucket. And we're going to just do one at a time and see how it works. And then if it works, then we all know, okay, here's something we can do for some pre-made embellishments. Okay, so I'm gonna do the pink. So I'm just gonna sprinkle it on. That's a pretty good amount. Sprinkle it on. So this little bitty flower. I used all that for that little bitty flower. It was way overkill. Now, some people will put their embossing powder into like a little bucket thing, and then they'll use the little tweezer things, and then they dunk it. I'm just going to keep this ready to do more layers. So holding it in the middle so it doesn't blow away, and let's emboss it. And sprinkling some more on real quick. Okay. Man, I've been watching Crafters Companion and all their pumpkin things, and I'm looking and I'm seeing a pumpkin in this embossing powder here. Look, there's, well, let me get a pen. I'll show you. I know it's silly. That's a brush. That won't work. Oh. Look, tell me if I'm wrong. And here's the little stem piece. And an eye. And an eye. And a nose. And the mouth. Do you see it? Was I wrong? Is it there? I could be wrong. I don't know. Okay. That has a very wet look, but I did pour more on, right? So I'm just gonna hold it here. And maybe I'll give it a minute to kind of. Come on. It doesn't look like it's really holding it that well. And it certainly doesn't want me to pick it up. Come on. There we go. It's not holding it so great. So I'm gonna try and do the pour it on while I'm still blowing it and when it, heating it. having it ready to go. Because that whole thing should look powdery and it doesn't. So I'm going to heat it. It might be too late. Let me try putting more of the watermark on it and see if it will hold it. If it will, that makes it so much easier. All right, let's see if that works. I wouldn't try doing this in thick layers. I wish I knew where all my tweezers were. I used to have so many of them. Aha. Oh, it did hold it good. Okay, powder's got to go back in. Okay, now I got the tweezers. Let me hold it with the tweezers, and I can always come back into that spot. That tweezer I did didn't work very well, but the glue thing did. That looks so much better, and I love it. I love the way it looks. I'm going to let it sit a little bit longer, and I might do one more coat on it. I don't know if you can see. It's probably already dry. Should I touch it? Yeah, it's dry. Yes, it feels good. Nice and smooth. It's got that plasticky feel. Okay, let's try it one more time. One more layer. We're gonna take this and we're gonna apply it to the flower. But you really, at this point, cannot tell so much that it's even paper. It already is something more than that. So, if we wanted to do a bunch of these, we could do a whole bunch at one time. And then we would have, you know, I'm just doing one at a time, but if I was doing, I don't want to bump that too hard. If I was doing, you know, say 3 of them, 4 of them, 5 of them, the same color, you know, and then I just heat them one at a time, it would be a lot quicker than this. and I'm experimenting because I've never done it before. Look at that. I gotta make sure you can see. I cannot see what you can see. Okay. So it is very good. You do want to let them cool. This is just barely warm. Let's see what happened. That's why this in the center, because it messed up that little edge spot. But if you're overlapping it with other flowers or some foliage, and I would just do the flowers and use like paper foliage with it. I wouldn't want to overdo this stuff, if that makes sense. I like it. Let's try another color. I had another one somewhere, right? I know I did. I just don't know. There it is. Do we want to use the purple or, you know, I've got other brands that we could try. I got blue, red, I don't think this is all my embossing powder. That's white, silver, shimmering pearl. Don't want that blowing. It's hot. Very, very hot. Oh, look at that color. See, this I would save more because this is going to be finer. The reason it's in such a small thing is because it was a sample. I do not believe they're going to send you anything like this. But theirs would be more detail, where this kind of stuff, where you can see it's not as ground up, it's not as fine. This is going to be less expensive. If it costs the same, it's going to be in a smaller bottle. Because when you ground it up fine like that, it takes up less space. That's why. So, no, they're not the same. What do we want to try? I mean, look at this. Sugared strawberries. Wow. Let's try this one. This one's got like blue and purple in there. It's like a mix. So let's do that. And then here's this, and it's got some, you know, it's not completely rigid. Now, I wouldn't go folding it up because you probably get cracks in it. But, you know, it bends a little bit. So that's pretty good, I think. Okay, the other one is right here. So I'm going to rub that and get rid of that. Just because I don't want to mix that pink in with my purple, blue, periwinkle, whatever color that is. Okay. So I'm going to... One of these sets I had bought online, and it was like painting with embossing powder. And then one of these sets I got from Scrapbooking Made Simple for a really good price. So even the painting with embossing powder was a really good price. I think whoever had it at the time was clearancing it out. So, okay, let's see what this is. Because this is blue with purple mixed in with it. So what I'm going to do is, I missed a spot right there, is use the tweezers to pick it up and this to hold it down so I'm not messing up the embossing. And I'm just going to do it the easy way and use glue. Use the watermark every time. I want you to be able to see it. I hope you can see it. I can't tell if you can see it. I think you can. Oh, look what I just did. Oh no. Maybe the next time we'll fix it. Now you see what I meant by it fly away. I didn't mean to purposely do that, honestly. That was not on purpose. That just did happen. Because I let it go, I thought it would stay down. It seemed like it would stay down, but it didn't. So I'm gonna get plenty of this stuff here and maybe go a little lighter right here. Oh, the gardener's next door. And whoops, I closed it instead of poured it on. Okay. I might just move it and leave that pile there. Here we go. All right. So it looks like it's really not getting that much of the purple. It's just getting more of the blue. So that's okay. There's some purple. You see a hint of it. But it's pretty much what it looks like. Okay. We're ready for the next layer. Okay. I don't know if I can get that over there. You're not enough to get it on it. Okay. I didn't mean to get it that high up. Now this time I can see a little bit more purple in there. But that doesn't mean that's how it's going to dry, right? I'm going to hold it here. And turn it on. Okay, still it's mostly blue. There's a little bit of purpley look to it. It's pretty though. I did say middle color, do something different with the middle color, right? Let's get this back. Oh, in the container. I thought the purple and the blue would mix when they got heated and do like a periwinkle, but they didn't. Really let it. This is very speckly looking. It's shiny, but it's not so smooth like that one, right? Okay. I did say something about doing the middle different. So what I want to make sure is whatever I use is going to be really small. I just want to use a tip, right? Just tip it. And I'm just going to do the pink and we'll see if it works. What color do we want? How about green? Green. Oop. I hope it doesn't ruin the other embossing on it. Okay, let's see if it does anything, if it sticks. Green. Am I in a weird mood today, I think I must be. Now this green has like a yellow in with it. So I'm not counting on it to do anything. But it does. So I'm gonna pick it up. Well, that is not what I wanted. So I'm gonna wipe it off. Right, because I don't want green over the whole thing. You know, I could use a Q-tip or something like that, but I don't have one in here, so I didn't, but that might be a good option. I think I've been on a long time. I think this video is getting too long. Sometimes I get absorbed in what I'm doing. I apologize for that, folks. Okay, that should work. Let's see what happens. Like, my computer is sitting next to me, just having a fit right now. It's making all kinds of noise and stuff. Okay. And now I'm going to hold it down here. And I'm going to heat it up. Can you see? Let's see what happens. Alright, so let me tell you what happened. As the center part, it did not dry first. The other stuff did. Not dry, melt. The other stuff did. And now it looks like you can't see a difference in the layers. There's no layers. That's like inlaid in there. That's like inlaid in there. Oh, we gotta play with this. That's an interesting. I mean, it is perfectly like inlaid in there. Okay, it's too late today. This video's been way long enough. Been way long. Y'all are probably like, okay, Lori. Okay. But I do like the way that worked, and I wonder if they're all gonna do that. And probably when I come back and try to do this, it won't happen again. I'll never be able to get it to work again, but I love that look. I love the look. And then this one, let's see, it's bendable. It's got, it's not like hard. All right, everybody. If you like my videos, please hit the like and subscribe button. Thank you for joining me, and I hope you join me again. Bye-bye now.